Hi, this is Sam Lagana with the Los Angeles Rams. Whose house? You're listening to the Los Angeles Rams UK podcast. Undenied worldwide. The Los Angeles Rams. It doesn't get any better than this. Let's go Rams!
Does this thing still work? Hello? Oh, it does! Hi! Hello, strangers. It's me, John, from the LA Rams UK podcast. And it's been a while. It's been far too long, actually, to be perfectly honest with you. So, I think something happened last weekend, and I felt the need to, dust off the laptop and the mic and come back for a wee chat. Not only that, but it's been that long that some technical issues were going to prevent us from coming back. So I'm trying out something new. So this is an episode of the podcast, but it's a test episode of the podcast. So this is episode 114, One Man and His Rams. And yep, it's just one man tonight, guys, as I'm just trialing this out. But I wanted to make a point of coming back after what was an incredible weekend last weekend in London town. But I'm not going to go too in depth about that. I just wanted to just come on and let you guys know that the podcast is back. We are back. We're coming back now. I think London was a bit of a wake-up call for myself. It's not been, to be perfectly honest with you, a great year mentally for myself. Without going into too much details, it's at points been kind of worst period of my life at times. But then all of a sudden, one day in May, the NFL decided to tell me that the Rams were coming to London, and having been a fan for over 25 years now, and also turning 40 in June, the stars were aligning, and I said to my wife that I can't miss this time. I need this. And so she said, well, happy birthday. I'm going to pay for you to go as part of your trip. And she moved things around and came with me and got to experience the NFL for the first time in person along with me. Last few months, I've had plans to try and get the podcast back up and running, obviously with the build-up coming to Los London, but life's just been kicking my ass hard with work. Managing a football team that takes up like 3 days, sometimes 4 in my life, and with, the 4 Sprogs behind me and the ball there, I've got a quite busy life. But as I sat on Sunday, late morning, my wife actually turned around to me and said that, there's people in this room who probably don't know your face, but they know your voice. And there's people in this room that know your face. And they'll probably be like, oh, it's a shame we don't do the podcast anymore. I sat there and I kind of thought that I became part of the LA Rams UK team because of my enthusiasm for the podcast. Before I joined the team, I relentlessly emailed the likes of Tony, Chris, Aaron, questions every week in the hope to get them read out, and I think most weeks they read them out. And because of that enthusiasm, Tony actually reached out to me and got me to come on as a guest, along with Andy, who joins me now and again. And I've loved every minute of doing the podcast, and I've put a lot of time and effort into it. And I'm actually disappointed in myself that it's been that long, actually, since we put an episode. It's actually been, so it's April was the last time we were on when we done our mock draft with Lewis and Andy. But actually talking about the team itself on a game basis, it's been over a year. It's been 13 months. And, Sunday was, like I said, it was a wake-up call. And I've just decided that we need to be back, because sitting there on Sunday in the Yak made me realise just how much the Rams actually contribute to my mental health. Believe it or not, even when we have our rough times, it contributes so much in a positive way that I'm letting something that I need just wither away, when really I should be keeping it going as best as I can. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But I just wanted to, like I said, I wanted to do this wee episode. Like I said, I'm trying out this new software. Anyone who watches on YouTube will see wee bits of why I'm trialing it out. For example, now, if you want to listen to episodes of the podcast, There's a QR code that's appearing on the screen right now, just down here. I hope it was still there. And that'll, if you scan that, that'll let you go and listen to the podcast. But if you're watching this as well and you don't talk to any of us, why not join our Discord server? Come on, chat about all things LA Rams from the UK's perspective and join us for game day chat. So yeah, wee bits like that to try and get a wee bit of engagement as well, because let's be honest here, folks, on Sunday, one common thing that I kept hearing from other Rams fans was, Jesus Christ, I didn't realise there was this many of us. So obviously Sunday we had Feed the Yak as our venue for the LA Rams UK official meetup, and thanks to Big Tony Deef, Lanarkshire Ram, as he goes by, who helped us get the venue, helped us sort out, and allowed us to facilitate somewhere where all Rams fans from around the world, because it wasn't just the UK, could congregate and just enjoy each other's company and just get fired up for the game ahead. It was an amazing day. One thing I will say, and I'm going to get this out of the way so that I can get my little rant done. On Saturday, during the day, I didn't arrive in London until 10 o'clock on Saturday night. EasyJet fucked up my flights, basically. My plan was that I was going to be landing and at my hotel, checked in at Wembley for 7. The wife and I were going out for dinner. Then I was hitting the Redwood. So seeing all the pictures from, the meet up at the Redwood, seeing Tory Holt handing out free pints and stuff like that, my heart absolutely dropped and I was kind of pissed off. On top of that, during the day, Tony had actually said that the Yak actually was decorated with Rams flags and stuff all over it. 20 minutes later, Wembley security comes in and tells them, get it all down. You're not allowed to have any of this Jags stuff only. That's the rules. And as soon as I heard that, up to that point, I didn't really care anything about the Jags. I had no opinions whatsoever on them. I always kind of thought, could you pick a better team to try and force in the UK? But after they did that and basically said that no other team is allowed to exist in London, it's just us. I'm going to say this right now. I don't like the fucking Jags anymore. And sorry about my language on that. I think it's a disgrace that other teams and their fans can spend time, money to come to London for a game of football, but they're not allowed to, you're not allowed to say anything or do anything because this is Jagstown. I'm sorry. The Jags were founded in 1994-95. I was born in 1985, so I'm 40. I was watching American football at 2 years old in my high chair and watching it in Channel 4 when it was 4, and it was like the Channel 4 icon, because it was supposed to emulate winter, like the steam coming out of his mouth. I've watched American football long before the Jags were even a thing. Many of us here in the UK were the same. So to try and go, the Jags UK team, no, that can just get to fuck, basically. We have all been fans longer than us. You can't make us like the Jags. I wear these colours because this is the team that I represent. Says you can go, I've got the Jags here, the London Jaguars now or whatever. People don't care now. We have our teams. And actually, I explained this to Americans actually on the day on Sunday and said that we, in Europe, football fans for soccer, are loyal to their teams. The same applies for us, for NFL teams. You could create a London team next week. People might watch them out of novelty, but they'll still follow their actual teams, just like I would for the Rams. So, for the Jags to try and come in and go, we're plastering our stuff everywhere, it's about us, it's all or nothing, is quite frankly a discredit to the NFL community, not just in the UK, Europe, but around the world outside of America. Try and force feed fans into believing that, no, this is their team. And it made me laugh when I actually got inside the grounds and heard Duval chants being pumped in via the PA system. For what's supposed to be the UK's team. There's not actually that many of them that are proper there in the stadium. You've got you do have your Jags fans, right? But they're not as big as it's been tried to kind of force on any external people looking in to NFL in the UK. And for me, not being able to see I think the only Rams thing that I saw up anywhere was just an LA logo on a banner or the LA logos on the the screens outside Wembley. Apart from that, the only Rams thing that was up anywhere was the Yak kept a little LA Rams flag up at the door, and they somehow managed to sneak that back up. But apart from that, like, it was a disgrace that we were allowed to use this venue as our own. It's the LA Rams meeting point. It's our focal point. It's where we want everyone to congregate and gather and just meet up and enjoy, spend some time, then head into the game. But we're not allowed to add, we're not allowed to say anything externally in that because it's going to upset the Jags, but fuck the Jags as far as I'm concerned. The next time we come, we're going to be bigger and better and we'll make more noise. Like, where was you might have had your pre-game stuff like that, but where was your fan meet up in the Wembley area? Says you were probably annoyed that we were that close to your territory, your doorstep, and you couldn't do a damn thing about it because you couldn't kick us out. So yeah, I ran over with that because I could probably sit here for the next hour talking about that, but it did irritate me, and when that was communicated back, I did make sure I made a point of telling anyone that asked. Oh, it's a shame you'd think they decorate, and I made a point of telling everyone that asked that and said that says, well, it was decorated, but the Jags had other ideas. They don't like us having stuff up here because they want everybody to only think that they exist. And and they can want that opinion all they want, because having been down, in the vicinity of the Wembley Steps and where the Yak was, anyone can challenge me. I saw more Rams fans walking by, and like the 4 hours I was there. Nearly 4 hours I was in there. So about 3.5-4 hours I was there. I think I left about 1:30, and I was there from just after 9:30. Yeah, maths was right. Yep. And that time I didn't see near as many Jaguars fans than I did Rams fans in the vicinity or walking about. Where we've came from is a mystery, but I know a lot of people did travel from the States for it, and that is just truly phenomenal. I had the pleasure of chatting to a few people. One guy from San Diego I actually spoke to, called Elliot, his name was. He actually travelled himself. He flew to Seattle, then connected from Seattle, I think, direct to London, or I think he might have went to Vancouver, I think he said. I forget. But he made a couple of flights to travel on his own, and it was the first time he'd ever seen the Rams live as well. So he travelled across the world from San Diego when he could just go up to Los Angeles or up in it. My geography might not be good there. Is incredible. But the sheer amount of Americans that travelled across the world to come and see their team play is phenomenal, and it just shows you like there is so much loyalty in that fan base. And it was just it was amazing. It was amazing getting to meet everyone. I hope it wasn't too cold for you. I did meet another couple that did say that they were struggling quite a bit with the colds, and I'm just sitting there with like just my jersey on, and they're like, "How you not?" They asked, like, "How's your husband not find this cold?" They asked my wife, and he said that because this isn't cold, because obviously we're from north of the wall, so it's even colder up there than it is down in London. But what can I say about like the actual experience of going? So like I said, like I've been a Rams fan for 25 years now. Sunday was the first time I ever saw the Rams in person. Like going back, like I got asked by some Americans, like how did you become a Rams fan? And just as a refresher for anyone that doesn't know, so I said that I was 2 years old. My dad was a Bears fan. He loved the Bears in the 80s because they were big. He just jumped to the bandwagon. So I grew up I didn't have a team, grew up just watching American football loosely. My dad had like Super Bowls like recorded, like for the Cowboys and the Bills actually. And I used to actually watch the Super Bowl. When I got to about kind of like 12, I used to actually stay up and watch it live. Because I remember watching the Packers in a Super Bowl. And I remember watching John Elway actually win a Super Bowl. But I got to about 14 and I thought, I'm getting to a point now that I'm interested in investing enough in this sport that I should really go with a team. So I never set out to say, well, I'll go with whoever wins the next Super Bowl. What I did, I was just sitting watching Sky Sports, and I hadn't given much thought about it. And the Rams kept coming on, and watching them with Kurt Warner leading the offense, Marshall Faulk, guys like Bruce out there, Al Zakir, Hakeem. Sorry, they were exciting and people calling them a great show and tough. And it was entertaining to watch. And I was like, maybe this is the team for me. I mean, I love blue. It's my favourite colour. Blue and yellow are my favourite colours, actually. And I thought, well, they're playing in my favourite colours. Maybe this is the team for me. And as the season got on and the Rams were getting closer and closer to the postseason, it's like, I think I may have picked like the best team in the league here. And lo and behold, the Rams won the Super Bowl that year. And that just sort of said, well, it's meant to be. They were my favourite colours. They've just won it all. This is the team for me. And that's how I became a Ram. But in all the years, I've watched the Rams, anyone that met me on Sunday would have seen that I was wearing a St. Louis era jersey. That jersey was bought in 2004. It's the first Rams jersey that I owned. So I'd been following the Rams for about 4 or 5 years and hadn't bought a jersey for myself. But I owned NFL Europe jerseys. I owned a Frankfurt Galaxy jersey and a Scottish Claymores jersey at the time. But the jersey I wore on Sunday was very special to me because it was the first Rams jersey I bought. And when I bought it, I got my favourite number at the time, 8, and I got my name on it. So I was wearing my jersey to watch my team play. I've referred to that jersey in the last kind of 5-10 years as Old Faithful because I bring out for the playoffs and wear it when I think the Rams need a bit more support. So I'd said to my wife about the jersey because originally I was going to buy a custom jersey with 40 on it, my name on it for my birthday, and I opted against it. I thought, it's the first time I'm going to see the Rams play, and there's only one jersey I really should wear, and it's the first jersey that I've owned. So I got Old Faithful back out, and I proudly wore it with an Aaron Donald modern throwback underneath it, which was apt, I guess, because it's the design based off, our first Super Bowl, well, both Super Bowl wins, I guess, actually. So yeah, I wore that on Sunday. So yeah, going on Sunday, it's hard for me to describe what I actually meant to finally go. My wife, who came with me, and some of you got to meet, and I've been told is actually all right for a Chiefs fan off a few people, which is, it's good. She was quite happy to hear that. She spent the weekend basically just letting me just do my own thing. She said, I'm here to just support you because I know how much this means to you, and I'm here that if you're kind of, because I'm not, despite the fact I'm rabbiting on here, I'm not socially the most outgoing. I'm quite introverted actually. And she said, I'm here if you need me. If you need to kind of crutch on me for a minute because you're struggling socially, I'm here for you. But if you're fine, I'm all right, don't worry. I've got a drink, I'll be okay. She spent the weekend taking little clips and videos and stuff for me because I said to her, I want to try and capture little moments and little clips of stuff through the weekend of what I'm doing to put it all together, as a kind of highlight reel, I guess. So she was getting wee clips of stuff I was doing and that, and just walking on my plane and all that. Like I said earlier, I was absolutely gutted that I missed Redwood on Saturday night because it just looked absolute fire. It looked wild, and I'm gutted that I couldn't have got there. But I went to the Yak on Saturday night because I said to my wife, by the time we got there, I'm checked in that. Said, Mark, we'll go for a drink. And she's like, oh, do you want to go downstairs? There's some Rams fans down the stairs. And I thought, no, I want to go over to see where we're going to be tomorrow, just to get the bearings of what it's like, and that just in case if anything, I don't know what, if anything would have cropped up, but just so I knew. It actually came in handy come opening time, actually on the Sunday. I went in, and what I will say is if anyone tried the pint of Iron Brew is not supposed to taste sour. I tried that and I thought, oh, this will be nice. And at first it was okay, but as the pint got on, it got sourer and sourer. To the point I struggled to taste the next pint I was drinking on Saturday night for quite some time. But it was nice to go in and see the place. It was quiet. So it was actually a group of Scottish Rams fans in as well, which was odd. 25 years of being a Rams fan up here in Scotland, and I think I've only ever met one, and then all of a sudden, and these other guys, it appeared at the woodwork, which was nuts. But it was actually quite humbling because when they were talking to, I believe it was German Rams fans they were actually talking to, and they were so enthusiastic about Sunday, not the game, the meat that they were like, these other guys were leading, they're like, oh, you coming here on Sunday? Like, well, this is what I'm me. The LA Rams UK guys, this is where they've got for us, and this is where they all want us to come. And like the way the guy was talking about it, like I sat there and I thought, like, that's incredible. Like it says, like it's an informal meetup, but like hearing how kind of passionate people were getting about talking about, oh, this is happening tomorrow. Like we weren't planning anything special. We just wanted people to know this is a meeting point. Just come on down and just let's get pumped up for the game. But it was so like nice. And my wife's like, you need to go up and say who you are. And I'm like, no, I don't want it. And she's like, why not? I said, because I'm not going to walk up and go, hi, I'm John Fairley, Rams UK, by the way. He's all right, lads. I thought, like, it's not who I am. Well, we'll still do this. I'm not. And for people that may be listening to this or people that have been engaging me on Twitter since Sunday, like, as I've said in replies, like, I keep a low profile, like, in general. Because I'd met a good few years, and it was amazing to meet a lot of the guys that I actually talked to in Discord to actually put faces. I think I was as happy as and was excited to meet everybody. I think the reaction to meeting Jazz was probably the biggest one. Well, actually, no. That was set. That one was second. But I've talked to Jazz more than I've talked to anybody in Discord over the last few years. But for me, like getting like I've been on the LA Rams UK team since like around about this, the Super Bowl year when we won at SoFi. But I've never actually met any of the guys in person, and I got to meet Chris in person outside the Yak, and it was like the two of me. The two just grabbed each other, like we were just so excited to see each other. And I said to Chris, like afterwards, I texted him, and I said, like, I was that excited to see you and to finally meet you that I forgot to take a picture with you, because when we went in, we went our own ways, like we're sitting with our own people, like. But what I was going to say was like, I keep a low profile generally, because like it's just like I said, it's kind of social. It's what I'm like, and there was two guys that actually replied. So if anyone's seen on Facebook, so it's on Instagram as well, I think. I've done a wee thank you video when I left the pub, just like thanks for everybody for coming down that. And I'd actually try to post it there and then, but I think just with the signal it didn't go, so I ended up posting it later on. Delayed, and two guys had actually replied to it, and one of them was a dad, and they came in, they were just standing there, and I directed him like, no, please have a seat, I'll sit down and sat. And then there was another guy, I think he might have been with his dad, and he came down, and I invited them to come down and sit with us, and I briefly chatted away, and both of them replied that they couldn't believe that they were sitting across from me and didn't realise who I was. And I'd said to him, like, because I was keeping a low profile and like that, I wasn't there to be like, hi, I'm John Barry, hello, with a big sign like, hello, come and say hi to me and all that. Like, I just wanted to be there and just soak in the atmosphere. And I said to my wife during like the time in the Yak on a Sunday that it just felt incredible being in amongst my own for the very first time, like being around fans and listening, like hearing like Rams House chants. It was like, it was just, it's hard to put into words the feeling that I had about it, but just like that's where, bringing it back, that I sat and I was like, why am I not podcasting? Why am I not just going, no, I need to make the time to do this? Why am I not being more engaging online and social media? Like Chris does like the Instagram kind of stuff, / Facebook, and I think Tony dabs in with the Facebook stuff because they prefer those platforms, whereas I do X, Twitter, because I prefer that. It's find it easier to just jump in, post something down, in and out, and all that. And I'm sitting there going like I can invest the time to do this again. I just need to get my finger out. And like my wife said, like you need to. I look at all these people running about here. Says look at all these people that have came up and been like happy to finally get to meet you, and then sat down and spoke to you, and spoke to me as well. And then you've got these American guys that are like, "Wait, what do you mean your podcast?" And they're like, "Oh, why have you not done an episode since April?" And you're like, right, and you're getting like slapped in the wrist off of Americans as well. Like, so that's I said that's what the whole purpose of doing this kind of be one man in his Rams episode tonight. And like I said, I kind of wanted to use it to kind of give thanks to everybody basically. Like when I went into the stadium on Sunday when I checked in, like I think like the first video I done was one of those ones like I just like span around on the spot, like holding my phone out, like my mouth like stretched wide open, like oh my god, I'm actually here. And my wife was just like, I think she had her head in her hands, like for fuck's sake. And she said that when I got into the stadium, she said, I think you mentally de-aged about 30 years when you went in. She said, your reaction as soon as you walked through those turnstiles and realised you were actually at the game was what I'd imagine you'd have been like in Christmas morning back in the mid-90s. And she said, I said to her, you're probably right, this feels like Christmas morning to me. And like she videoed me going up and like into the actual stadium bowl. Now, we were in block 125. We were in, and it was actually a decent seat. We were on. I was 9-yard line. I was sitting on, and like actually going up and sit down. The teams were off the field at the time, and like when I got my first, Ethan Evans, in fact, was out doing. He was doing warm ups for punting, and I got pictures. I took some pictures of him, and then like I looked down the tunnel and I could just see Matthew Stafford, and it was almost like, oh my god, he's right there, oh my god, and I could see Steve Avila as well right behind him, and then like, they all came running out, and I was like, yes, come on, they're actually here, like I couldn't believe it, and I think because we were wearing the modern throwbacks as well, like it's like I love my blue jersey that I've got on. I'm wearing here tonight. But the modern throwback is just like, it's such a special jersey. Those colours we have lifted the Lombardi twice in. And I've just loved it. We were wearing it. And like, when they were all lining up the sidelines, I'm like snapping. And I just kept coming back to Stafford. And I was like, oh my God. I just kept kept drawing my eyes to Stafford. And I was like, oh my God, look at him throw the ball. Oh my God. And my wife's like looking at me and like, she's like, you're right. She's like, I'm just like, oh my God, that's Stafford. There he's there. It's like, and I wasn't talking about anybody else in the team like that. And she's laughing. She says, like, I think by the end of this game, if you end up winning this game, I think by the end of it, I might lose you to that man. She says, well, he's the only man you'll probably lose me to put it that way. And like actually getting to see Matthew Stafford in the flesh, oh my God. Like I came away from it and I tweeted it. It says like, and it's like, I can't believe how lucky we are to have like a man like that as our quarterback. Like, especially like his age, 37. He's 37, isn't he? Yeah. The amount of time he's been in the league and like the stuff he can still do at that age, like this man is like he, in my opinion, should be talked about as an early candidate for the MVP this year. Like 5 touchdowns, breaking the record, in the international series. Another no look or as well, like out there. The man was just incredible. And like actually getting to see him in person was just amazing. And like I'd actually put it on as a TikTok. My wife had actually, I think it was it was the Vanty's final touchdown. My wife had taken the phone out and was like holding it, just like subtly, just like she didn't want me to see the phone, but I kind of glimpsed it. And she was just trying to video me because she was like, this is going in. I think I'd said to her, this is like, we got 4 attempts to go 1 yard. This is going in. And she like took it out to like video me, and she caught like my reaction and the look in my faces. Just said it all. I just couldn't believe I was experiencing this in person for the first time. And I'd actually said to her, like, this is a core memory. Says this, and when it was later on, it was on the way back home. I took the video she sent me it, and I put it on TikTok, and I put the Inside Out kind of music. If you've ever seen Inside Out, it's an incredible movie about memories. If you've not seen it, you need to go watch it. Watch it with your kids. It's fantastic. But as soon as I saw the video, I could hear the music from it playing in my head, and I said to her, this is what a core memory being made looks like. And that's exactly what I put on my TikTok, and then I put it on my Twitter, and like I think I retweeted it on the LA Rams UK account, but on my own account, like it's just constantly getting like likes and likes being retweeted, and that just because, and like people are like, oh my god, this is amazing to see Rams fans across the pond and stuff. And for me, like I wish I took more pictures, I wish I took more videos, but I was that way that I wanted to just soak in the feelings of what Sunday was, because I'd said to my wife, like, I should have taken a lot of pictures and I should have got a lot of pictures to take me. I should have been getting pictures of me getting taken in the yak as well with people. And I thought, no, the actual moment, I wanted to live for the moment and the feeling that I got out of it. And it's just like, I can't thank the Rams enough for what it's done for my mental health, because it's mentally given me a new lease of life. Being intertwined with my team finally, on Sunday, it lit stuff up in my head. And like I said, that's why I'm back here tonight, like primarily testing my software out to make sure this works, but also just to come on and chat, because I've missed talking about the Rams, and I'm looking forward to getting the band back together for future episodes and talking about the team once again, because like I said, I've invested it. For the fact I'd someone come up to me and say, I recognise your voice. And I'm like, oh, well, that's a bit of a compliment. He says, I know your voice. I must be doing something right, that people were like wanting to kind of like come up and say hello to me and all that. And the Rams community here we've got in the UK, it's still growing. And like I said, and other people have said it too, I don't think we realised until Sunday just how big the UK community actually is. And you know, with that, like as I was saying to Tony Deef yesterday, it was that Sunday needs to be the wake up call for us to take this to the next level. So before the game on Sunday, what I'd actually started to do, and I'm going to put the QR code back up in Discord if you want up on the screen as well. In fact, I'll try the other way. This way, nope. There you go. It's up in the top corner as well. If it disappears at the bottom. Join our Discord server if you're listening to this and you're based in the UK or Ireland, please. Or even, do you know what? Even if you're based in France, Germany, Denmark, Spain, wherever. If you are a Rams fan, join our Discord server. Because if you're ever in the UK, we'll want to meet you and we'll want to hear from you. Come on and join us. Be part of our community. Because we need to get together more. We need to have meetups, be it regionally, be it nationally. We need an annual one probably as well. It's about time that we use Sunday to step out of the shadows finally and into the limelight, because as I would say here in Scotland, there's fucking hundreds of us. There's a lot of us, for anyone that doesn't understand. Yeah, there's a lot of us out there, and we need to start getting together more. So on Discord, I'd put it on for people to share. It would have been good actually if I'd thought about this and got a QR code that anyone could scan if they wanted to, watching this back. But basically what it was for this map in the UK and Ireland, but I mean, you could zoom out and do anywhere. And it's for people to just basically pin where they are and put their username so that we can see where Rams UK fans or Rams fans in general are based. That is going to then allow us to go, right, well, there's a cluster here. So we could try and get those people together, meet up to do a watch party. You know, it's stuff like that. And also it means that if we wanted to do a regional meetup or even go, right, well, let's try and do we'll just call it UK RamCon, right? Want to do that, like, you know, not for the Super Bowl, but just say the postseason or something like that, you know, whatever. Or after the season finishes, just as a get-together, you know, something like that. It will allow us to go, right, well, a lot of us are based around this kind of the UK, so it would make sense to go there and we organise there so it's more central for as many of us as possible, you know, whatnot. So it's, for us, those fires have been lit as well. And going forward, it's something that really, like, I personally want to look at, because I made a good number of these. I want to meet more of these now. I don't think I could go out and say I want to meet every Rams fan in the world. It would be great if I could. But I want to go out and I want to have opportunities to meet other Rams fans, because it's going to be a long time for the Rams come back to London, put it that way. I'm a hell going to Australia next year. If they go to mainland Europe, I'll look at that. But yeah, it's going to be a while before we're back. So I can't be waiting another 7 or 8 years to be around Rams fans again, is what I'm saying. So it's like I've been truly bitten by the bug. And I'd actually said to Tony in the hack before the game, says, right, well, I've ticked off my bucket list of seeing the Rams in person, but it's now been replaced with going to SoFi. So that's next on the bucket list. But I think maybe I'll do a half one in between there, when I maybe go to an East Coast game and maybe go away for the weekend. You know, like I'll look at touchdown strips. But Tony gave me great pointers for getting out to the US to see the Rams and all that. And he's a great hand. He goes out every year, as do a lot of people, obviously, from here in the UK. And he gave me great pointers. Now, he could see by the looking face and the way I was talking. He's like, yeah, you need to get yourself out to the West Coast now. And he's like, I'll make sure you get tickets and I'll make sure you're looked after and all that. So, but it's great that our community is that welcome, that you can meet someone for the first time and I will take you in as your own and all that. It's great. So, like, it was amazing, like I said, being in amongst more people finally. And it's really helped a lot for me. For mentally, but also personally, but also for the next steps for this. So, like I said, as I've said a few times now, because I keep having to kind of repeat myself a wee bit just to keep myself in check, is that the podcast is, without a doubt, well and truly back. I will definitely be back next week because we're on a bye week. So it's one of the ones where the band will get back together and we'll get chatting more and more about the Rams, and we'll hope to see a lot and hear from a lot of yous going forward, as we finally, like I said, step out from the shadows and into the limelight. Now, considering it's just myself tonight, I think I've talked to yous for long enough. So I will start to wrap up. So yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, it's on our YouTube channel, LA Rams UK. Give us a like, share, subscribe. But yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see what's going to be put on the screen now, the QR code. So if you want to go back and listen to any previous episodes of the LA Rams UK podcast, scan that. Other side. Scan that QR code now. If you're listening to this, you will not see that I am pointing to a QR code on my screen. So go to YouTube and watch the stream to see this. You can also follow us on Facebook as well. You can scan the QR code again, folks. It'll take you straight to our Facebook page, LA Rams UK. You can also find us on Instagram, LA Rams_UK, which again, scan the QR code, you'll get it there. And then finally, you can follow us on the next, LA Rams_UK again. Keep forgetting what site it is because I'm mirroring my camera on the screen. Get that QR code scanned. If you want to come on and chat with us and talk absolute nonsense about the Rams or anything in general, get that Discord server QR code scanned. We'll talk all things Rams on it in our general chat. We'll talk about game day. We've got a whole channel for that where we just talk about the game as it happens. It's always a battle last because a lot of us are watching the same moment at different times, with, stream delays and whatnot. But we've also got channels for game meetups. If anyone's going to any games, well, it was used excessively in the run-up to Sunday. We've also got a merch channel. Not our merch, but we did have merch. But to talk about LA Rams merch in general, like, they're selling this. For example, did you know that Fanatics are selling what's called the NFL Flash feature range? I only discovered this today because I was looking at buying a Stafford jersey. Surprise, surprise. That the Fanatics are currently selling for $35 a black T-shirt with a picture of Matthew Stafford holding a football from Wembley on Sunday. That's all it is. I put it in the merch channel and somebody said, that looks like Stafford's died. It's what it looks like, a memorial T-shirt, but it's not. Apparently, this is a new range they've got. We've got one for Puka from week 4. So yeah, we talk about like stuff like that as well. And then there's other random channels on there as well. So yeah, get the QR code scanned. Come and join us in Discord. It's where we're most active as a community. It's where we talk and it's where we engage each other. So yeah, come and join the chat. And last but not least, if you fancy supporting this podcast, you can buy us a coffee as well. We don't accept pints. We're not allowed to accept alcohol in the format of this. But yeah, scan the QR code and you can buy us a coffee. So that's actually worked out not bad. I'm quite happy with that. So yeah, that's us, folks. I'm going to leave you there, and I will say you can join us next time for episode 115, and it's already got its episode name, London Called and the Rams Answered. So yeah, be back next week for more chat with the Rams. We'll talk about the game, we'll talk about bye week, and then we'll preview our week 9 matchup. So thank you very much, guys. If you stuck with us, I didn't intend to talk for as long as I did, but that's my problem. I'm that wee wired that I'll just talk. So enough from me, folks. Thank you very much if you've listened up to this point for sticking with me. Thank you very much to everyone, part of the LA Rams UK community and wider community and the Rams in general who have all listened to our podcast. Engage with us on any of our social medias, give us support, whatnot. I appreciate the hell out of every single one of you, as I do appreciate the hell out of every single Rams fan who made the trip on Sunday, from how close you were to London to how far away we are. I appreciate every single one of you who were there, because we showed everyone that we are here. And, you know, as I said, well, on Sunday, we're the famous LA Rams and we're off to Wembley. We took over. That's as far as I'm concerned. Thanks a lot, guys, for listening. I will catch you all next week in another episode of the LA Rams UK podcast. Cheers. See you later.